kelingan marang sliramu wong ayu.
The Ballad of Living Creatures. Our life is suffering. Every being experiences multiple lives, experiences repeated lives, is born and died again and again, and not all lives are always happy lives. So that on average his life is suffering because of the changes that are always happening. Human life is like that too. Not always experience happiness, at certain times humans experience suffering. Happiness and suffering are not forever, nor are they stable. Called suffering and sensual pleasures, they are impermanent, always subject to change. It is because there is always a change that the being is suffering life or dukkha. Everything is always changing. Change is eternal. What is eternal is change or anicca. Anicca is one of the applicable laws of nature, which cannot be changed in any way. Dukkha or suffering related to anicca that befalls unenlightened beings and humans, is also a law of nature. Because everything changes, nothing that is essence, entity, I or spirit, is called anatta. Everything or phenomenon is a combination of smaller elements, which are always changing. Entity, spirit and I exist, is a conventional truth, is a truth that is unconsciously agreed upon in general to facilitate communication. In this world everything changes all the time. Let's say every second there is a change of billions of times. We cannot see the changes that have occurred because the changes are so small. In very hard objects, these changes can only be known maybe after a few thousand years, million years or even more. The purpose of living beings including us humans is to end dukkha. Dukkha can arise because of sensual desire called tanha, which is inexhaustible, which cannot always be fulfilled, thus causing suffering. Suffering arises because tanha has not been able to be eliminated, rebalanced, or controlled. Tanha that is not directed properly and correctly will become defilements, called kilesa. Kilesa arise include three things, namely, greed is called lobha, hatred is called dosa, and ignorance or delusion is called moha. Lobha can lead to acts of stealing, cheating, corruption, and others. Dosa can cause resentment, anger, hostility, harm, slander, and others. While moha is not knowing or not being able to distinguish what is right, what is wrong, what is good, and what is bad. Killing living beings, stealing, adultery, lying, and drunkenness can occur because of one or more of the presence of lobha, dosa, and moha. Beings, including us humans, whose life is suffering. Their suffering will never end if they don't know how to end it. His suffering will not end because after death he will be reborn in a new world of existence. Because you have to be responsible. Unfinished problems must be accounted for or resolved in the next life. And so on. The law of cause and effect applies, or the law of sowing and reaping, or the law of karma, which is also a natural law. Broadly speaking, there are 31 realms of existence, including the realms of suffering and the realms of happiness. Except for the human realm, which is a realm of suffering as well as a realm of happiness, depending on how the person concerned is able to behave until he is able to overcome it, is able to find a way out, or has succeeded in realizing nibbana, which is successful. attain perfect enlightenment. The 31 planes of existence include the 4 degenerate realms called Apayabhumi, 1 human realm called Manasapum, 6 heavenly or 6 diva realms called Devapum, 16 shaped Brahma realms called Rupapum, and 4 formless Brahma realms called Arupapum. The task of beings and humans is to penetrate the aforementioned way out, which is to end dukkha, by controlling, that is to properly direct tanha, so that kilesa can be destroyed, replacing it with true happiness, which begins with doing a lot of good, reducing bad deeds, and purifying the heart and mind. These 3 things are not easy to do, they require strong will, enthusiasm, and proper, good, diligent, and continuous practice. It is necessary to prioritize about dana, sila, samadhi, and panna or wisdom. However, in order to do all of these things correctly, one must first understand correctly the Noble Eightfold Path, which consists of right understanding or sammaditthi, right thought or samma sankappa, right speech or samma vaka, right action or samma kamanta, right livelihood or samma ajiva, right effort or samma vajama, right mindfulness or samma sati, and right concentration or samma samadhi. Is it true that true happiness can be created by controlling lust or passionate tanha? You're right. A layman called Puthujana at first had a hard time understanding it. But think about whether it is tanha who wants pleasure but is not fulfilled, and if it is fulfilled it will end. Is it true happiness? It is a fact that if our mind is always in a state of balance called upekkha, then happiness is realized, not enslaved by passionate tanha, unaffected by unpleasant conditions or unaffected by favorable conditions. Happiness is within oneself, not because of conditions outside of oneself. So now it's clear. Ending dukkha and replacing it with happiness doesn't mean searching for sensual happiness that goes on and on and on and on, because it's impossible to materialize. Because every phenomenon is changing all the time. But replace it with true happiness. That is how to manage tanha, to reduce bit by bit the defilements or kilesa, which will eventually be destroyed without residue, by practicing the Noble Eightfold Path, of which the most crucial is the 8th element, right concentration. Namely practicing samadhi or meditation. Let's practice meditation starting with anapanasati bhavana, or meditation on observing the breath in and out with mindfulness, that is, using sati, coupled with panna or wisdom. How to meditate with high enthusiasm and effort should be done wisely. If our mind in noticing the breath in and out has been released and runs everywhere, then return that attention to the breath again wisely, meaning in a serious but relaxed way. Don't be tense, don't be excited, because that means there is kilesa. Paying attention to the in and out of the breath is intended to train the mind to be able to focus on the current situation. The things that are currently being done should be done well, with full attention, so that the results are also good. The mind should not dwell on past things that cause regret and disappointment, or thinking about things that will come, which have not happened, which can cause anxiety. Those disappointed, regretful, and worried thoughts are the kilesa that we have been trying to keep from growing, gradually diminishing, and finally crumble without residue. We should also not cling to attention to the current situation, because that attachment we are trying not to develop, we are trying to let go of all attachment. Say we are currently at war with kilesa. Meditation is not just sitting meditation, walking meditation, or lying meditation. Meditation can also be done when we are doing activities such as when we are eating, working, and so on, namely by being aware of every moment we are doing. The kilesas that are destroyed without residue can be realized if they have been able to achieve the highest results of vipassana meditation, where vipassana bhavana, or insight meditation itself is a continuation of anapanasati meditation, samatha meditation, or serenity meditation that has reached the stages of jhana. The object of observation to be realized and understood in vipassana meditation is mind and body related to anicca, dukkha and anatta, including kaya nupassana, observation of the body, vedana nupassana, observation of feelings, sutta nupassana, observation of the mind, and dhamma nupassana, includes the contemplation of the panchakanda, the 6 sense bases, the 7 factors of enlightenment, and the 4 noble truths. The highest result of vipassana bhavana or vipassana meditation is the realization of complete enlightenment, realization of nibbana, realization of eternal happiness or peace, which is the goal of all sentient beings, i.e. being extinguished, which will not be reborn in any plane of existence. Thus this video entitled Ballad of Living Creatures may be useful. Until we meet again in another video on this channel, which conveys the right knowledge, which is added with an interesting bonus video, with the hope that apart from being useful, it is also interesting to watch.
You can find this channel on YouTube under the name Permanahadi.
Many thanks to you viewers of this video. May you be healthy, live long, happy, love to do good and eager to live life with a peaceful heart. Peace be upon you.
Yen kelingan marang sliramu wong ayu, kaya rinu cetru ning atiku. Jaman biyen-biyene aku katon nopo, saiki ning aku iki katon nopo. Dek semono sliramu nate prasetyo, bunga susah dilakoni ganti lilo. Mula aku ora ngira yen sliramu citra ninggal krama pilih karo priya liya. Janjane iki mau salah sapa, kau nganti sliramu megatake tresno, ora nyono atiku uga, ora ngira yen saiki uripku banget nelongso. Wong ayu mung welingku pring sliramu, ojo tega welaso putra putrimu. sing mok tresnani. Semono sliramu nate prasetyo bunga susah dilakoni kanthi lilo mulau aku ngira yen sliramu citra tinggal krong pilih karo priya liya. Janjane iki mau salah sapa kok nganti sliramu megatake tresno ora nyono atiku uga ora ngira yen saiki uripku banget nelonso duh wong ayu mung welingku mring sliramu aja tega langsung putra putrimu aku wong ora guna pokotorku jiwa wis tak trima